Another Atlas game, huh? I don't think the Persona fans have forgiven me yet for throwing shade at a game I liked but didn't love. Yeah, it's been a year since then. They might have. Oh god. I guess we're gonna do Shin Megami Tensei 3 then! A game I genuinely loved, so that we can maybe, get the gun out of my face, please? Hi there, my name is Potatoes953, and today we're discussing Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, which will from here on out be simply referred to as Nocturne because that's a mouthful. Many people refer to Nocturne as the Dark Souls of JRPGs, and that you don't know what you're talking about with difficulty until you've played Nocturne and other SMT games. So I came into this expecting a challenge. What I got was one of the funnest experiences I've ever had, so let's discuss. This is my honest review of Nocturne. By the way, I played the HD remaster on PS4. I don't think it matters, but I felt like I should still mention it. You play as a dude who has been summoned by his teacher to Shinjuku Medical Center to meet her about something. On the way there, you go to Yoyogi Park, where you meet an investigative journalist named Hijiri, who tells you about a cult who blew up the park. You make your way to the hospital where you find two other people, Isamu, or whatever you name him, the standard punk-type character who also fills the best friend character role, and Chiaki, whatever the hell you pronounce that name as, or whatever you name her, a female who has no personality traits other than being fairly intelligent and being a bitch. You search the building to find it completely empty aside from the three of you. You search the building and are given a keycard to the basement where you find out that the hospital has been ground zero for cult activity in Tokyo. You find rooms where satanic rituals have taken place, and eventually you find a human number 4, Hikawa, who is the standard bad guy. He shows you a real-life demon and is going to kill you when your teacher, Yuko, or whatever you name her, stops him. She tells you to meet her on the roof and she'll explain everything. You go to the roof to find out that they're going to destroy the world and that Shinjuku Medical Center is the only place where human life will not be extinguished. The world ends and you find yourself once again alone. As you explore the building top to bottom, you find two people. A demon lord, who gives you one of which being the demon lord, who gives you the power of Magatama, a parasite that transforms you into a demon with a human heart. So that is the setup to Nocturne. The reason why I summarized all that is because the intro explains the main concepts so that I don't need to explain them any further. Basically, the world has ended, and you are going around the shattered basis for which the new world will be born, where you explore the various districts of Tokyo in search of answers and to create a new world where you're not needing to constantly fight demons, thank you very much. This is where I talk about the game's story. It's really good. You have these 4 human characters who you must choose to ally with or sabotage, or you can choose to embrace your new body and ally yourself to the demons to create a world where demons can live. There are 5 endings to this game, 1 for each human character and 1 for the demon lord. You may be immediately thinking that you would, of course, choose to ally with the humans. The problem is that none of them are very good people. 2 of them destroyed the world for no other reason than it sounded like a good idea at the time. Isamu just loses his fucking mind, and Chiaki is just fucking insane. And after seeing what kind of gods they choose to become one with in order to create the new world, you would be probably thinking twice about choosing any of them. A major part of this game is weighing morality and your personal ideals to make a world where you feel would be the best. And the reason why I liked this story as much as I did, and this is the reason why I enjoyed this story as much as I did. Most of the events carry over to every ending, with the only major difference being how you want to RP and how the endgame works. And if you're doing the true demon ending, then you get an extra dungeon. What I love about this game's story is how it remembers to engage the player in what feels like more than just dialogue choices, even though that's exactly what they are. Choosing to side with people doesn't just feel like a dialogue option, it feels like you are making the decision. Unlike something like Persona 1, where your ending is dictated by a bunch of stupid and seemingly pointless dialogue choices that wind up changing everything just because you didn't choose what the game wants you to pick, it makes you feel like the dialogue options that you are choosing matter. When I play through a game's story, I put a lot of emphasis into engaging the player, even in hyperlinear games like The Last of Us, Resident Evil Village, or even a visual novel like Phoenix Wright. In those games, the game makes you feel and think like Ethan, Joel, or Phoenix. Unlike, say, The Last of Us 2, where it fails to engage me as the player into the story so that when the characters do something stupid, it makes me feel like more of a distant viewer than an active participant. This is where I find Nocturne brilliant. It is another hyperlinear experience. However, rather than just making me feel and think like the Demi-Fiend, I felt like I was the Demi-Fiend. Just like how I feel when I play Fallout 4, or even more so, Fallout New Vegas. The gameplay is very similar to other JRPGs. You enter a dungeon, solve puzzles, and battle demons in turn-based combat. That's all well and good. However, how it differs is how you build your party members up. You do this by recruiting demons instead of killing them. You do this through a negotiation system that essentially just comes down to chucking money at them and answering a question. In addition to the basic recruitment, another key mechanic is fusing demons to create more effective ones for coming dungeons. To anyone who has played Persona 3 through 5, you will instantly recognize this because the fusion system in those games is taken straight from this game. How it differs from that in the Persona series is that in Persona, you don't really need to worry about you only really need to worry about fusing one or two really good personas, whereas in Nocturne, you need to worry about fusing 3 demons that will carry you alongside your Demi-Fiend. Another mechanic that I found very engaging was the Magitamas. As you explore, you will come across mini-bosses that will drop Magitamas. You can also buy them from the various merchants that you come across in the dungeons. These are the basics in which your Demi-Fiend's moveset are made. Each one of these has a different set of stats that they will buff from your basic stats, and they also have their own weaknesses or resistance. And they also have different movesets that you can give to your Demi-Fiend. For example, let's say I have a physical type Magitama equipped. It will end up buffing my physical stats, and it will make me learn physical attacks when I level up. When I buy let's say I buy a healing type Magitama, it will up my magic stats, and I will learn healing spells. I will then need to choose to change them based on what skills I'll learn when I level up, and what resistances and weaknesses they have. What I like about this mechanic is that it makes me need to think strategically about what I have equipped and what skills I currently have, unlike something like the Persona games, where my moveset doesn't really matter because I have multiple personas to fit in whatever movesets I need alongside my other party members. I keep comparing this game to Persona, and SMT fans have already likely commented on this down below. But the reason I keep doing this is because, first off, because I am more familiar with them, and second off, because Persona takes so much from Nocturne. From Persona designs, fusion, and basic gameplay, it takes it from Nocturne. Yes, Persona is a spin-off of SMT, but the fact is that I always assumed that other than Persona 1s and the 2s, they had drifted further apart. Other than the dating sim aspects of Persona 3 through 5, they are just Nocturne light. And this is most seen in the difficulty. It's not unfairly difficult. Normal difficulty is way harder than any of the modern Persona games, aside from their Merciless or Nightmare difficulties, though. But here's the thing. It isn't unfair. It isn't an unfair difficulty. Unlike the hardest difficulties in Persona 3, 4, or 5, enemies won't just spam insta-kill spells most of the time, and they won't just sit there exclusively attacking the Demi-Fiend, like the AI in Persona games do. Even the most bullshit fights, like Mott or the Fiends, are easy enough to figure out through some trial and error. They'll fight you in ways that are simple to counter through some thought. Is it the JRPG? Dark Souls of JRPGs, rather? Probably. But I can't say, because I've never played those games. But I can say that it makes for a fun and engaging challenge. It's not unfair, and it's fun in how it's difficult. It isn't just, oh, I'm gonna spam this insta-kill spell constantly, and this is gonna make it more fun, because you're gonna have more time in you're gonna have to spend more time fighting me. No, that's just frustrating. What this game does is it makes the difficulty inherent within the enemies. They are puzzle. Each enemy, and it's particularly the bosses. Not every single enemy is a puzzle, but each boss is like a puzzle. You have to figure out, like, what is this guy's attack pattern? How is he going to work? And how do I counter it with my current party? And a lot of the time, it is brutally simple. And yet, it makes it interesting every time. Every fight is interesting, aside from the times you're going to be grinding. Because this game does have some grinding, but it's not an unfair amount of grinding either. You see, I spent about maybe 2 or 3 hours grinding in total. It does not take long to grind in this game, because the EXP that they drop, that every enemy drops, is a fair amount of HP, or XP. Bleh. It's not unfair. And that's what I'm trying to get at, is that the challenge is still there. But it's not an unfair challenge. It's not, I'm going to kill you instantly because I have more HP and more health. Cool! That's so fun and engaging! I don't care! There are some people who crave a challenge in games, and they enjoy the fact that they have to think, they have like 3 hits they can take, and that's it. I do not enjoy that kind of difficulty. It's just not fair. It's not fun either. It's just more frustrating. So what did I think of this game as a whole? I loved it. I thought the story was great, the gameplay was fun, and that the dungeons and puzzles were interesting. The only real bad thing I can say is how the music isn't great, in my opinion, and how other than some of the boss themes, most tracks just were annoying or gave me a headache. Overall, I give this game an 8 out of 10. I definitely recommend it to most anyone who enjoys turn-based RPGs. Anyone who is not into JRPGs or turn-based RPGs, I do not think would have a fun time with this game, unfortunately. It is not a beginner's game. I would not suggest this as your first Japanese RPG, by any means. Go play Persona 4 or 5 for that. Because both of those are fantastic JRPG to get into the genre with. So, I would absolutely suggest this to anyone who enjoys turn-based RPGs, though, because it will give you a hearty challenge. There was a remaster put out in 2020 that is available on PS4 or Switch. The only real bad thing about this remaster is how you have to pay for Dante, but it's still worth your money that you'll be paying for it. Another, not really an issue, it's just kind of a mild annoyance that I found with this remaster, is that occasionally there will be video files from the original PS2 release of the game. They never updated this to be 16:9 or to be HD. They are the original video files. So you'll occasionally have a cutscene go from, oh wow, this is really cool in HD, to, oh wow, this is cool in 480p. It's a mild annoyance when you see the video quality just go down the hill, but it's the cutscenes still hold up really well, so I don't really see it as much of an issue. So yeah. Now it's time to chill. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. It really helps more eyes see my videos. And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. And as always, have a good day. Alright, I said something good about an Atlas game. Can you please remove the gun from my head? Hi there. Post production Potatoes 953 here. Yeah, that was the video. Sorry it took so long. I've been working on this very slowly in the background of, other stuff. Sorry I disappeared for a year, basically. I've been busy doing stuff. Yeah. Including moving house and stuff. So that's the reason why. If you heard in the audio quality that the audio quality went a little up, it was me figuring out where to record in this new place. So, yeah. Thank you for watching my video, and the next video will probably be Resident Evil Village. So, yeah.